Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news here on the Esports News channel. I hope you guys all enjoy some crazy stories today. The first of which, thanks to Infernorse, everything you guys need to know, as well as all the stories will be timestamped down below. And thanks to Infernorse, guys, apparently more information on survival mode coming to CSGO. Now, again, we do not know too much as of right now. The first hints we've had so far is, of course, next operation will be Operation 9. And also a couple days ago was the 1 year mark since our last operation. To give you guys also a little bit of clarity on that, our last operation being Operation Hydra did come around a year to a year and a half before or after the last operation before that. So we do seem to be around the point in time, especially as the major does slowly approach. We approach the time where it'd be just about perfect for an operation to drop. The only question is now, will it be before the major or just shortly after the major? I think either of those two options are very likely. On top of that, with Operation 9 though, should be a brand new game mode. If you guys remember with Operation Hydra, it was Wingman. It was introduced, of course, with the operation, and then later afterwards was actually installed into the game as a brand new game mode. So you can still play that today. Other game modes were actually, of course, gone away with that last operation. This does open the doors, of course, to many things out there for CSGO. Could it be a battle royale? As of right now, it seems to be a survival mode. What that might mean, other information out there from people, it does seem to be, of course, currently on these source engines. Unless they give us Operation 9 plus Source 2 plus survival mode, it does seem this will be a smaller game mode compared to other battle royales out there. Not going to be 100 players, probably not even going to be 50 players, which does make you wonder if it can be successful. Nonetheless, though, with more information out there, I'll link some stuff down below for all of you guys. It's definitely hopeful for the future. Now, I know there's many sides to this story. Many of you guys probably don't like this, but definitely for the variety option for the future of CSGO, and especially kind of trying to instill new fans out there, new viewers and players, I definitely like the idea. Will I want it to be a competitive mode? I hope not, but definitely a side game mode for us to maybe keep our aim intact and definitely kind of reinstill some interest into the game. Survival mode should be coming with our next operation. Any more details out there, and we'll share them with you as soon as possible. And also on top of that, I don't share too many videos with you guys, but I saw one video that I just couldn't help. It's actually thanks to Azteca Patio. It was a random account out there that tweeted out a CSGO video, and it was the most creative thing I've seen all week. We have more CSGO news, but I need to show you guys this, as well as link it down below for all of you. The most creative CSGO video this week goes to these guys.
The bomb has been defused. Ale, la hamburguesa now!
And some sad news for all you Vitality fans out there. Vitality currently still trying to secure some invites out there, as well as trying to secure their spot in the closed qualifier for our next major. Remember, that's the 4th try upcoming here in about 10 days from now, a little over 10 days. The 4th European try is the qualifier, as well as the 4th North American qualifier for those last 2 spots for both regions for the closed qualifier. Vitality is not in yet. LDLC is not in yet. Plenty of North American teams. Well, a lot of North American teams did make it. Of course, their invites, as well as the teams in general over there, a little less competitive. On top of that, though, it does seem very unfortunate as their coach, that being faculty for Vitality, has stepped down from the roster. Now, why it's extremely sad, of course, the team only together for about less than 90 days. On top of that, though, it's actually believed that this guy was the guy who actually proposed the idea to bring these guys to Vitality. So he is now unfortunately done. Whether he'll continue to coach in the French scene or not, you continue to wonder about that. I hope he does. It's just really sad to see such an early change for a roster who is definitely rising. I wouldn't say stagnating. I wouldn't say producing great results so far, but it's always sad to see a coach go in such a short amount of time. And in huge news out there, I'll probably be sharing this with you guys in a couple days as they do actually finalize. That's ECS as well as EPL matches. And on top of that, we do have the start of ESEA Mountain Dew League playoffs. This can be huge for many teams out there. As of me recording right now, it's actually LDLC on a comeback on Nuke against Virtus Pro. They compete in a best of 3. So Mountain Dew League playoffs, if you guys don't know, the top 8 teams from North America as well as Europe, they compete for 3 spots. The number 1 finisher gets the automatic spot into EPL, and the number 2 and 3 finishers actually compete compete in the promotional playoffs against the 2 bottom teams for EPL standings. So I'm going to show you guys the current EPL standings. As of right now, it does seem Envious will be relegated alongside them on the European side. It currently does stand as AGO, but a lot more things can actually switch up against there. So Mountain Dew League playoffs go on the next few days, and these are actually a really huge series. They're best of 3 single eliminations, and again, of those top 8 teams for North America as well as Europe, only 3 teams actually have a chance at finishing top 3 to actually make EPL next season. After this matchup though, and again, once this video does go live, we will know either LDLC or Virtus Pro will not compete in EPL next season because they actually compete right away in their first best of 3, and it's a single elimination, which is of course in huge news. A rising French team and a team that has always struggled to actually make and secure their spot in EPL, that being Virtus Pro, does compete today. Now, speaking of those matchups as well, we have a few teams out there, a bit of a struggle because of course their roster changes. Cloud9 will not be one of them. They actually registered Kiyoshima right in time. As it does stand, there's actually a 48-hour rule. You must register your players 48 hours ahead of time for those matches, and it does seem HR with their, of course, their brand new member Hobbit, which in my mind still, it seems hard. This guy, it's hard to imagine this guy in a Hellraiser's uniform. It does seem he has not been registered enough ahead of time. He will not compete in today's matches. He'll be back though for tomorrow's matches. Some controversy out there, as well as Ryan B as well as Don Hossie did bring up that when a Fnatic did sign Brawlin, they didn't face these issues, so maybe they kind of just swept those under the rug. Not too big of an issue though. It does seem EPL matches do come to a close, guys, and remember, your favorite North American and European Mountain Dew League teams do compete for those last 3 chances at EPL next season. And we are now seeing, I would think, after this one being the 3rd time as a charm, I think we are now seeing a slow trend in CSGO. That is what you once considered to be top tier teams, or at least top tier organizations or well-known organizations. They are now starting to draw out of the pool outside of well-known players. Of course, first we have Fnatic. I know Brawlin and Twist are well-known players, but generally of younger players and definitely some fresh faces for that team. And of course, a few days ago, guys, we also have other teams kind of taking on this role alongside them. G2 apparently targeting both Lucky and Jax from 3D Max, so some unknown faces there. And now, of course, we do have Gambit finalizing their roster with, again, some not so some fresh faces, but some not so known faces out there. Apparently confirmed this morning, guys, Axile from 5 Balls, that's actually a 16-year-old now completing that Gambit roster. That does mean that of the remaining roster, guys, only Mo and Doja are of course the original members who did of course win that major. I know a lot of you guys probably forgot about that. Crazy to think how this roster has gone. I don't want to say it, but has gone slowly downhill. And again though, some fresh faces in that team right now. Dimasek and Mir also finishing off that roster. This roster definitely has potential, but currently where they are not a part of many series out there. They definitely have to qualify their way back to success. But also, very lastly, speaking of success out there, guys, the Esports Awards annually were announced last night, and some big teams were announced. Of course, one of them being, it was actually, I think, Cloud9, the organization of the year. More importantly, though, it was Astralis in the esports scene becoming the esports team of the year. Much well deserved. We talked about them yesterday and their era of CSGO, which has definitely been secured in my eyes. And also, very lastly, guys, congrats to Simple. He was actually announced the PC Player of the Year. I think very well deserved out there. And also, I'm not sure if I want to talk about this, but I think it was definitely rigged when it came to Esports Game of the Year. It was actually CSGO placing 3rd, and it was Overwatch taking that one, which maybe we shouldn't. You know what, frick it, we're gonna say it, guys. The one thing that I do not understand about this, and I understand it's not all in their liberty, but still, for the grand final live event of the year, it went to Overwatch Grand Finals. If you guys did see that, not even going to the final match, it was cut short because it was a pretty dominant series. I believe 2-1 was the finish over there. But what really makes me, if you guys are true CSGO fans, if you remember back to the best grand final event of 2018, remember it's for this year, it has to be by far and away for any esport, not even close in my opinion. You guys can comment down below if you really thought Overwatch League Grand Finals did compete with this. It was Boston E-League Major, Cloud9 FaZe, Map 3 Inferno, multiple overtimes. It was the most hype event, 1.1 million plus viewers live concurrently on Twitch, and it will forever be my favorite CSGO moment of all time. It did happen early this year, and I believe I don't understand how Overwatch League Grand Finals could have possibly overtaken that unless it was rigged. I'm just going to leave it on that note. Hope you guys all enjoy. As always, my name is Jake. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. I'll see you then.